Hey everybody, this is Wake Angel 2001, and I decided to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to do my own little knockoff beatdown style thing, courtesy of a local toy store at the Bay Plaza Mall, which is located in Co-op City, not that far from where I live. All About Toys is just a small toy store right next to the Macy's, which I thought it was originally supposed to be a pop-up store for like the holiday season when it first came out, but I think because Toys R Us happened to be going out of business around the same time, they decided to keep it along because, well, with the Toys R Us gone, this is basically the only toy store aside from like the toy section at Kmart, which has been dwindling more and more, and like the GameStop and Five Below. So yeah, it's one of the few places in town. Now, there are legitimate toys in there which are frankly overpriced. Like, they want $20 for those 4-inch Fortnite figures, which, retail for half that usually if you buy them at GameStop. But this place is actually an entertaining source of a ton of knockoffs. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to ease in at first, taking a look at this knockoff Mario set. Clearly, these are supposed to be the Jakks-Pacific World and Nintendo Mario figures, and at first glance, they might look pretty legit. We see this red Yoshi here. It seems that the only significant downgrade is that it looks like the ball-jointed shoulders, or universal jointed shoulders, have been replaced with regular swivels. So yeah, no pin disc articulation there. Oh, by the way, I can't really get too into this because I didn't actually buy any of the knockoffs because they are, like, individually they don't cost that much per set, but to actually buy them all would actually cost quite a pretty penny. Maybe if people want to, if there's a real big interest, I might buy these sets just to rip them apart. But let's take a look at the other failures. Like, check out Luigi here. Yep. I mean, there's an L on his hat. That's obviously Luigi's mold, right? Except he's in Mario's colors. And he has, like, a green superstar. And, like, a green... Like, it's like they took the green plastic from the pipes and just cast everything in that color. And yeah, like... he obviously has no leg articulation, so whoever knocked off the Luigi mold didn't go that far, but it looks like the arms are fairly intact. Again, I can't tell if he actually has universal shoulders or not, but he at least clearly has elbows still. Including Mario, done up in Luigi's colors. I can't help but feel that this is intentional, and Speed Up Jesse, I'm calling you out. Did you do this one? Did you do a Mario and Luigi's colors for your 100 Mario thing? Because I feel like that's a thing that Speed Up Jesse has done, but I can't remember. And again, the figure clearly has no leg articulation, but the arms do seem to have been preserved. Although, again, I can't tell if he has... the universal articulation, or if his shoulders are just swivels. I also got some amusement at the miscoloring of the accessories, like this black and white Goomba. Like, hey, look, it jumped right off of the Game Boy screen. And most disturbingly of all, what's supposed to be a life shroom, but is painted up like a regular Toad head. So, it's like they just decapitated Toad and put his head as an accessory. That is so weird and messed up. Like, they could have picked, like, it's not that hard to do the mushroom in the right color, but no, they had to make it look like the beloved sidekick character got decapitated and is being fed to a piranha plant. Oh, and at least the piranha plant's mostly painted alright. Of course, the title of this video isn't the Mario knockoffs, it's the hilarious Sonic knockoffs. So let's take a look at all the knockoff merchandise they had for Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's start with this. It is a 6-pack of the main cast of Sonic Boom. And you know what? I'm gonna give them credit where it's due. these actually seem like pretty decent quality. Getting in up close, and aside from a little bit of roughness in the paint job, everything seems to be more or less there. They seem decently well molded. It looks like they've even preserved all the articulation that they had, universal shoulders and swivels. I don't know if the legs move, but they clearly do look to be there. Sonic's eyes look a little bit weird, but, it's not terrible. I mean, if you missed out on the Tomy line and you can't find them anywhere, these knockoffs might almost work as a substitute. They're actually quite decent. So let's look at some real crap. Okay, see the back of this? This is the back of a blister card. It shows Sonic the Hedgehog. And we got a hilarious mix of all kinds of random pictures. We got Silver, we got Sonic and Shadow, clearly from the modern continuity. But then we have Boom Amy, Knuckles, and Sticks in the card art too. Of course, when you look at the actual pictures of the figures, those are clearly Jakks Pacific Bendies of Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Shadow. Specifically the Bendies, keep that in mind. So what do the figures themselves look like? Are they more Sonic Boom knockoffs? Are they knockoffs of the Bendies? Well, here they go. So yeah, it looks like we have a regular Sonic, a Boom Sonic, and a Tails. And oh wow, are these the derpiest looking things I've ever seen. And it appears, aside from maybe the fact that their heads and they might have swivel cuts for the heads, ankles, and wrists by virtue of the fact that they were separate pieces, they don't appear to have moving parts. And looking at the way that they are molded, I don't believe that this is bendy plastic. I think that these are just like hard cast statues. And no, they are not proper action figures at all. I really hate that I did this, but there was a second pack that came with Shadow, Sonic, and Knuckles, and oh my god, was that the most hilarious looking Shadow and Knuckles figures I'd ever seen. They actually look like they were referenced off of children's art rather than actual official artwork. Kind of like what this Tails looks like. But I accidentally deleted the pictures off my camera before I transferred them to my computer. If there's interest, maybe I'll go back and take a picture of them again so you can see just how doofy the Shadow and Knuckles figures are. But that I haven't even really begun to show off the knockoffs that this store has. So let's take a look at some of the bigger figures. Take a look at this! A collection of 6 action figures, and these are all pretty big. I think they're almost 8 inches tall. They're roughly the Superposer size. And they have a Jet the Hawk in the collection. Isn't that interesting? There's only ever really been 2 Jet the Hawk toys officially made. One was Jazzwares' action figure of him, and the other, like, the remote-controlled Freeriders board that had him on it, made by Nkok. Nkok, I don't know how to pronounce that, Nkok. But yeah, like, I didn't expect that. I decided to give the boxes a turnaround. The one on the left is the Jet the Hawk box. The Jet the Hawk one is the only one that's advertises itself as just regular Sonic the Hedgehog. Although you can see on the back of his art of the box, there's like movie Sonic running, and then there's classic Super Sonic behind him, proper universe versions of Tails and Shadow and Silver, but the Boom version of Knuckles. And look at Amy and Silver, Metal Sonic. Amy and Metal Sonic are they're from Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics. Amy is wearing her Winter Olympics costume, and I recognize the pose that Metal Sonic is doing from the speed skating event. Like, of all the reference arts to pick, you would take them off of, frickin' Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. That's just, wow, that is out there, bros. And then the other boxes are what everything other than Silver comes in, and all of them have the same box art. You had Amy on one side of the box, Knuckles on the other side of the box, and the back of the box featuring this collection of these mostly the cast of Sonic Boom, except for Dr. Eggman, who comes from the proper universe. And they call it Sonic X, like the anime from the mid to late 2000s. Not a single one of them is the Sonic X version of any of the characters. I mean, almost with Eggman, but, like, that's just proper universe Eggman. I don't know, like... But let's take a closer look at the actual figures themselves. First, that jet figure, since it's out there. I don't think this thing would be able to stand. I think what they did was they actually did knock off the figure that was on top of that remote-controlled Freerider board, and they just cut its arms and legs off and reattached them as if they're swivel joints. And because he's supposed to be in a pose where he's standing on the board looking like he's riding it, now his legs won't be flat because he's not meant to stand idly. So, yeah, like, it's very interesting to see that they would bother to knock off Jet the Hawk, but, like, I'm not saying that this is a good figure. It is absolutely not a good figure. He's also a little bit more expensive than the others at $15. The others were only $12. Here is Boom Tails. And I don't think they knocked off a specific mold of Tails. I think this is an original mold just for the knockoff, but okay, you made an original mold, then make a good mold with those tiny hands, the ridiculously small tails back there. Although, I will give them kudos for including a wrench accessory. I mean, I gave my Tails a wrench accessory from, like, a Twilight Sparkle figure from the Equestria Girls minis, but, yeah, like, they actually gave Tails a wrench. I mean, they didn't paint his nose or give him pupils or anything because those dots of black paint would go beyond their budget scopes, and they wasted all that on the brown for his belts. But, yeah. They gave him an accessory. That's something. And then here is Knuckles. Oh my god, Knuckles. He's got a neck. Look at that. And, those arms. I think that this is actually referenced from the Knuckles figure who is permanently sculpted in the pre-assumed pose where he was punching. Except since he not only has swivel shoulders, he has even less posability than he had before. And, wow, like, I mean, look, I guess he at least has pupils and a nose. I guess since he doesn't have belts to paint in, they only had to put his shoe color on, so they had a little bit more budget to finish his face, I suppose. And then they have Metal Sonic. Oh, now, I could talk about how the little jet intake on his belly is too small. Oh, by the way, all these have holes in their chest for some reason. I don't know if that's supposed to be, like, for a light that lights up when you push a button, or if it's a speaker or something. But yeah, they all have holes in their chests. I'm not sure what it's for. Clearly, his head isn't quite right. It looks like before it had a chance to harden, they accidentally set it on its back and it slumped out a bit, so he kind of has like a blowout in his spines. But all of that is completely overshadowed by the pink feet. Like, his feet are just outright cast in pink plastic, and hilariously bubblegum pink at that. What the heck happened with those feet there? You'd think they would at least make them red. But no, they went with pink. They went with the pinkest pink for his feet. And that is just hilarious. Although not as hilarious as Dr. Eggman here. Oh my god. I don't know what's worse. Like, the fact that he kind of looks, a little bit ethnic with the black mustache, or that he seems to get his fake tanner from the same place as Donald Trump. Like, oh my god, why is he orange? They couldn't cast a proper skin tone, or at least give him his ginger mustache like he has. Oh, and I think that they forgot that those are supposed to be the lenses and glasses, because they picked out the lenses with some paint, but they didn't paint the bridge between them. So it just looks like he has, like, beady little mole eyes on his face. Oh, man. Also, like, he looks fatter than he does in the show. And, like, the whole idea of this version of Eggman was that he actually was still egg-shaped, but, like, the broad-shouldered version of egg-shaped, and I don't know, that's just sad. Although, what really genuinely takes the cake is Amy Rose here. Now, granted, she comes with a hammer. The way her hands are molded, I'm not sure she'd be able to hold it, but she has the Pico Pico hammer, which is more than any version of the official Tomy figures ever had. Amy was never packaged with her hammer in the Tomy line. And that does look like her hammer from Sonic Boom. It's not the Jazzwares hammer, which is proper universe Amy's, so I'll give them credit where it's due. This is the only Amy figure I've seen that has her hammer. But what is up with her face? It's like she got drunk before posing for her action figure. I mean, why does she have one lid that's partway down? And her crooked smile. She's either drunk or in the middle of having a stroke. That is sad. And it's funny because this actually might be the best made of this little knockoff series. I mean, it looks like she at least has both legs on the ground. She's symmetrical. She seems to have the best color palette. I mean, they didn't paint the insides of her ears, but like she has her arm warmers, she has her leg warmers, her shoes are the right color-ish. Like, this apparently is the one that had the most effort put into it, but what did they do to her face? Why is she so drunk? Like, oh my gosh, Amy, you gotta get off the sauce. Okay, moving on. These should look familiar to anyone. I'm pretty sure almost anybody would recognize this particular minifigure series. I mean, it's horribly painted. I mean, look at Sonic there. He looks like that one version of Sonic from that Fantastic Four parody in the Archie comic when he had to be given a suit to keep him alive because Dr. Eggman sent him flying off into space. But yeah, like, Knuckles has yellow shoes. Amy doesn't have a nose painted. Sonic's missing the stripes and his socks are also red. Like, I don't even, like, these are poorly painted, but I decided to include this because when I took a look at the top of the box, check it out, Super Forms. I mean, only Supersonic is actually in the box, so these guys aren't actually in there, but hey, this might be one of the only times I've ever seen them acknowledge Super Tails and Super Knuckles. And look, they even thought to make Super Knuckles his pinkish purple color like he actually turned in the comic book. I mean, like, as far as I'm aware, Tails and Knuckles never went into their super forms in any of the modern games. They can do it in Sonic Mania, but that's in classic style. And the only game where they even thought to use them in the final boss fight was in Sonic Heroes, but they didn't actually turn super. Sonic turned super and then surrounded them with little energy balls so he could throw them around. So yeah, like, this might be the only acknowledgement I've ever seen of modern Tails and Knuckles in their super forms. And then we have Shadow here in his super form, which is interesting because Shadow's not in the box at all, just the classic characters. But then look at Silver there. That's not Silver. That's not Super Silver. Given the completely white fur, the yellow chest floof, and the black shoes, this might either be scrapped prototype art of Silver, or maybe some kid's fan art, like someone's original character Do Not Steal, like a repaint OC that well, ironically enough, they stole and used as stock art for their box. So yeah, that's not Silver. I mean, it might be, like, I have no idea if it's stolen fan art or if it's a prototype art from before they finalized his design. But yeah, that's not official Silver, and it's not Super Silver if they were trying to go with a super theme. So it failed on that level too. Okay, so up next, this is clearly a knockoff set of the Sonic the Hedgehog Bendy line from Jakks Pacific. You can see all the Bendies in all their glory. There's Metal Sonic, Tails, Shadow, Sonic, Supersonic, and Knuckles. And you know what? These actually look like decent quality Bendies. Just like with that first line of Sonic Boom knockoffs I talked about, these might actually be passable. That is assuming they're Bendies. Like I said, I didn't actually buy any of them, so I couldn't feel them and see if they're actually made out of Bendy or if they're just hard cast in plastic and therefore a bunch of statues. If that's the case, then Tails has no hope, because with his tails up like that, he's never going to be able to stand without being able to lean forward. That was the big flaw. I think Jakks Pacific corrected it in a later release, but initially Tails' tails were up like that, and there was just nothing that they could do. But look at all the clip art all around the place. I mean, up on the top, you have in the middle Movie Sonic, surrounded by Supersonic, Knuckles, Silver, Tails, and Shadow, all from the proper artwork. And then on the front of the box itself, you have Shadow with classic Supersonic in an art style that doesn't match anything else. Then you have Silver and Knuckles looking normal, Shadow again from a different angle, Metal Sonic, and Movie Sonic from before they corrected the from before they fixed him. So he has the little beady eyes and his head is the wrong shape and everything. Like pre-fixing Movie Sonic is what I'm gonna call it. Like pre-redesign, yeah. And also, take a closer look at those little disc thingies they come in. They're just plastic circles with pictures of the disc figures that the Bendies came with. You know, like how it was a disc that you could roll, but then you could fold out little arms and legs to make them into little figures based off of the sprite artwork from what looked like the Game Boy Advance games. So they just took the pictures of the disc figures and put them on the plastic discs. That is some next level laziness there. And look at the back of the box. It looks like you're doing the Sonic the Hedgehog movie poster with the city skyline and the egg drones. But aside from Movie Sonic running in the middle, you got classic Sonic from what looks like Sonic from it's a CG render, so it's like from Sonic Generations. You got Silver, you have the Boom version of Knuckles, and then you even have Shadow and Rouge, which is a real kick in the head because Rouge isn't figured in any way as a toy in this set. Not as a figure, and not even as one of those little plastic disc thingies. Also, take a closer look at Shadow. The top of his spine is clipped off. They couldn't even pick a reference that was properly framed. Obviously, they took this off of the back of the box of a game or something where his spine was cut off by the end of the box, and they just clicked and dragged it lower down. So yeah, they don't give a crap. And also, yeah, this is an excuse to get Rouge closer into frame too. Everybody wants a Rouge toy, but there's no Rouge toy. Why isn't there a Rouge toy? So yeah, those were all the knockoff boxes that I took pictures of. But there was one more thing. They had a series of Sonic Adventure 2 blind bags. And since they were only $4 a pop, I figured I could actually go for that one. So let's go ahead and do a live video so I can do an unboxing of a blind bag. Alright, so here is the only thing that I actually bought from that little toy store. A Sonic Adventure 2 blind bag. They are $4 each at that place, and I only bought one because I had no idea what's in them. Maybe if what's in there seems to be pretty decent, I might be interested in getting more next time, but let's just start with just the one. So let's take a look at the bag itself. They all look identical. It has some random stock art. We got Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Dr. Eggman, Rouge, and Shadow. So, you know, sticking with the playable characters of Sonic Adventure 2. And the art is all consistent. They're all from the proper universe. It's not like they're sticking the Boom version of Knuckles next to classic Eggman or anything like that. So at least we got that consistency. There's only 6 Chaos Emeralds on the cover, and one of them is orange. With the exception of Sonic the Fighters, there is no orange Chaos Emerald. So, not only are there not enough, they also don't have the right colors. And the back of the packaging features more stock art of Sonic and Shadow, but then we have Wisps. That's Sonic Colors, my friend. That's not Sonic Adventure 2. So yeah, still complete knockoff. And these screen cap looking things, like, I get Shadow running down the I think that's supposed to be him running down that long hallway where the final boss fight in the storyline takes place. But look at this. That's Sonic on the wingboard, but I do not recognize that wingboard. Like, a part of me wants to say that this is that this might be fan work. It could be from one of the Sonic Riders games, but those don't look like the Riders shoes. Those look like the soap shoes from Sonic Adventure. So, like, I have no idea where this art comes from. I mean, if it's official, I don't recognize it. It has to be fan-made, right? And it's a shame that I'm gonna have it has these perforations to make it easy to tear into the bag, and I hate to do it because the bag's artwork is pretty nice, but we're seeing what's inside this. So, there we go. Oop. We have us a Sonic the Hedgehog trading card that has been bent, featuring Silver the Hedgehog. And then Sonic the Hedgehog collection featuring a mix of classic and modern characters. There's modern Super Sonic, Sonic, and Silver with, oh wow, that looks like stock art from the promotional material for Sonic and Knuckles there, and classic Mighty. And then even Starline gets a cameo in here. Let's see if the observant have laughed. Oh, but there's more than just that. Yep. Having undone the bend, it's revealed that it's actually 3 cards, all featuring the same artwork. All of them are silver. And, I don't know, I feel like, I don't think this is official Sonic Channel artwork of Silver. I think that they actually might have picked a fan art and just printed it out. Huh. Gee, I wonder if a reverse Google search will reveal that this is actually someone's fan art that they stole from DeviantArt. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. And oh my God, look at what actually came in the box. It is a classic Amy figure in the most daft colors. Orange legs, pink body and spines, yellow face, and the only actual paint is her eyes. Oh my. I mean, Amy was in Sonic Adventure 2, but this isn't even the right version of Amy. I mean, aside from a little bit of mold flash there on the leg, it at least looks like the molding is decent. As she can stand, she's accomplishing that much. Wow, that's pretty daft, my friends. That's out there. I mean, I suppose we could always paint it, but wow, that's disappointing. I am so happy that I did not actually buy a bunch of the blind bags to see what was in them. Although it probably would have been hilarious to like pull out a green Sonic or like a Knuckles figure that's like rainbow colored, or maybe. I was hoping that maybe there was some obscure little minifigures for the Sonic Adventure 2 line that these were. Like, we would at least get Sonic with a board, maybe even a Sonic with soap shoes, although I don't think any official toy merchandise of Sonic wearing soap shoes was ever released aside from the Joyride Studios Bendy, and I sincerely doubt that they're going to knock that off, or if they do knock it off, they're not going to reduce its size like this. So yeah. So yep, this has been quite the interesting little rabbit hole of Sonic the Hedgehog knockoff crap, and I hope that you guys all got as much amusement out of this as I did. This is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.